You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got you in my pocket spot. Yeah, that's babe, miss you every day. You like my oxygen. Make it seem like the barging down. Got my heart no barging in. From the bed to the floor to the couch. Might wake the neighbors up. Break you in, then break you out. In the end, we're gonna make it.
We're back for another episode of All Time High. How's it going, Deanna?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Things are happening out there in the cryptoverse, in the universe.
Yeah, they are.
There are a lot of animal spirits here, there, and everywhere. There's a lot to jump into. We're not at an all-time high. There's a lot of things going on legislatively. What are your thoughts preliminarily? Like, are we in a place where clarity is better than chaos, or was chaos better than clarity?
Well, I think clarity was going to bring chaos. So I think that was, good job for people recognizing it and being able to step up. And I just want to say, I was watching the news on it and they were like, is it bad that one company has this much power? And so when you can say that a crypto company like Coinbase actually has the ability to seize an entire bill, tells you how far crypto has come along.
Oh, no doubt. It used to be, I remember listening to, and I'm going to try not to say the senator's name from Texas, but he mentioned that if you wanted to be more persuasive, you either had to have more people or more money. And apparently Brian Armstrong has put enough money together to literally stop this bill in its tracks.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank God. I mean, he recognized the backlash, right? And saw, I mean, essentially it was what we said. Do we ever go back and say like how many things we get right? I called it. I totally called it. I totally called it. Yeah. Like it was apparent as soon as you started reading the bill that it was only for banks and it was going to squeeze out any competition. So, good for Brian for coming in and saying, hey, this is not good for the thing. And we're going to do everything we can to stop it and get it at least fair, stop trying to make the balance of power so far on one side. You can spread it around for everybody, but they just don't want to do that.
No. This is not about fairness. It is.
I know.
It is not. Because if it were, then it would be a whole different process. But let's listen to Brian himself. How about that?
Please. He's way smarter than me.
No, he's not.
Apparently has a lot more money too.
He does. He has power and influence. Now, whether that power is sustainable is going to be in some ways determined by how this bill gets put together. So that's why I think he's stepping out.
Yeah.
Stepping up and saying a few things. Here we go.
So even though you've been meeting with lawmakers for months on this, you were still surprised by some of the things that came out in this draft that was released really about Tuesday at midnight, I believe.
Yeah, well, this bill is hundreds of pages, and so many of the issues that we had engaged on were present, and great progress had been made. I know that there's many voices that they are trying to engage with to make sure that people's concerns are addressed in a very bipartisan way. But yeah, there were certainly some things which came out which we were surprised by and had issues with.
And what is your sense about what the next step forward are? I know that you've met with lawmakers today, met with lawmakers last night, meeting with the administration later this afternoon. Is something going to get done here, and what is the time frame that it needs to get done by?
Yeah, well, I think the high-level principle here is that we can't really have banks come in and try to kill their competition at the expense of the American consumer, right? People in America should be able to earn more money on their money. I think stablecoins are an opportunity for banks. They should be able to build great product lines with this. It's an opportunity for crypto companies. Congress and the laws that get passed, they should really create a level playing field and say, this is allowed, this is not allowed. Now, all American companies, go compete, try to build the best products and services. That's great.
So, interesting framework, sure, right?
Yeah.
He's trying to make it for the American consumer.
AKA.
But and I know the banks are trying to protect. They're the incumbent. They're getting 4% interest on all the money that's sitting in the banks and then paying consumers on average 0.25%.
How much? 25%? Is that what you said?
0.25.
Oh,
less than 1%.
That's what I thought. I was like, no, that's really low. It's like less than 1.
Closer to 0 than 1.
Just greedy. That's why. And it's sad. Like I think this is one of the reasons why the U.S. started falling behind in so many categories is because all of a sudden regulation is overcoming innovation. And when you have to jump through all these hoops and there's no clear regulations and it makes it very difficult for even law abiding people to really want to take advantage of new technology. So I hope that they can get together and get this together in a way that where it comes back in is empowering for everybody, because I would like to earn 4% on my money. I would be very happy with that.
And what's interesting about it? The banks actually have fractional reserves. Actually, there are no fractional reserves anymore. So it's literally the government's, the schmoverment's trust in good faith, right? That we believe, and in God we trust. And so as you look at it with the way the bill that was passed earlier, the stablecoin legislation, there actually is one-to-one backing on the reserve. So there's more, ironically, going to be credibility with Coinbase and should soak up the liquidity of the dollars out there more so than the banks are. The banks are respectfully protecting what they have, which is a good business model. This is Coinbase is the ultimate dislocator, interrupter, game changer.
Yeah, they got their hands in everything. I love it. And you know what the irony I think of all of it is crypto was made to bank the unbankable. Now you're going to put it back in the hands of banks. It's like, maybe we kind of missed the point of this entire movement.
Well, we're kind of also in this no person's land where it's kind of bouncing around. I was going to actually pull up Bitcoin as a good example. You can see we're about to either go, and I mean this, way up or way down. Not financial advice. Do your own research.
I kind of hope for both. Like, you want to go down so you can buy more, and you want it to go up so you have more money. But so, see that big drop?
Oh yeah. Boom. Hit it. And now it's creeping back up, and we could get in this rare place where it's a double shoulder and then it will spill over. And I think the stalling of this Clarity Act is going to definitely interfere with it a little bit, because you're losing the confidence in the market now. Okay. And I have another bold prediction. I want to hear your side of the story first, though. Like, right now, are you team up or team down?
I'm team
sideways.
Up.
Nobody likes that.
I'm up.
Team up. You think Clarity Act gets passed to the moon?
Yeah, I don't think it just affects the Clarity. It's not just Clarity Act, because again, Clarity Act only addresses. I know, easy to say, right? Yeah. What's that? It only addresses stable coins, right? The whole entire thing is about stable coins. And so you have all these other use cases for crypto and all these other really interesting. Don't forget, JP Morgan is still doing their stable coin testing on Ethereum, right?
No, hold on. Not that I'm right, but I know I'm not wrong. The Genius Act did get passed, and that was the one for stable coins. What's happening with the Clarity Act is the banks are like, the way we wrote the one before allows all this interest-bearing stuff to happen, and all our deposits are going to flee. They're going to move over to this place. So they're trying to, in some ways, re-legislate the Genius Act, which is already passed, through the Clarity Act, which is now being marked up. So you're right in one way, wrong in another. Yeah. Logistically, though, it's important that they're trying to keep customers from earning interest on the stuff that we put in the banks, crypto, money, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. They have a reason. They have a good, legitimate reason to be kind of scared of all of it and intimidated by it, because it is a very competitive product. I'll go back and read. I think it's been a minute. So maybe I'll just go back and refresh myself on both of them. I do think in the very beginning, as soon as I read it, I recognized that right away. Oh yeah. I still think that crypto is going to go up this year. I was telling somebody, not financial advice, if I'm doing a bold prediction, I think we hit 250 this year. That's just me. But I think that they're as much as the schmoverment or people in the schmoverment are trying to push any type of way that we can earn and produce and bring money and value to the US, that's what they're trying to do. And I think that this is too big of an industry to not exploit.
So I like it. And your point is well taken, because what's going to happen if this doesn't pass is it's going to continue to move competition overseas. Yep. And we have shown on previous episodes quite extensively, part of this Clarity Act should set up the on-ramps and off-ramps. Because right now, overseas exchanges are making a ton of money with these levered positions. Coinbase, candidly, is making a ton of money. It'd be nice if people who bought, it's crazy to think about, right? If you buy options, the exchange knows where the options sit, and the exchange then works with third parties to liquidate those options because there are no laws about it. So if you're out there and you're trying to play that game with options and you don't know what's going on, you're getting played. Right now it's limit long is my mindset. Yes. So
if you're watching this show, you know this. We talked to you about this before. So this is why you should watch it. If you don't know this, go back and watch it, because we told you about it.
Yes. And I'm going to share some alpha here today. Are you ready, Deanna? Here's what's going to happen. Okay. I know this to a veritable certainty. Okay. I don't know that I know, but as I often say, I'm not wrong. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. Often you say that often. It's true. We're not wrong.
So as we dance and we look and we're getting precariously close to this idea that there's going to be a shoulder, like it looked like Bitcoin could bump up a little bit, like we could get some enthusiasm. They could get some of these issues sorted out that Brian is so working diligently to fight for the people on. Right. And then both sides of the aisle come together and they get ready to vote. And there's kind of leak that it is going to have the votes necessary for it to pass. And it creeped up again. Yeah. You know what's going to happen in crypto. You know exactly what happens next. What happens next? The bottom falls out. And I know exactly how it's going to happen. The government, the schmovernment, is going to shut down on January 30th because what happened last fall, and they took 44, 45 days, I'm not sure exactly on the amount of time for them to figure all that out. We'll just sweep all the momentum and we'll be doing what we're doing right now. We'll be sitting in March once they figure out all the details of who gets this and who gets that and why are we shut down for so long and why can't both sides get along? And it will just take the wind out of the sails. That is my not financial advice. Do your own research.
You think it's going to go down? Do you got a number?
Do I have a number? No.
Is this end of year? We're saying end of year.
No, I think this all plays out in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, you think it's going down? Okay, but what end of year? No. What is your prediction? No, we're not going all the way there.
No, that's
that was my 250.
Good. I mean, I'm just trying to get to the end of the month, Deanna. I'm just trying to get to...
Good luck with that.
I'm just trying to not bust out before the end of the week, Deanna. Like they're just trying to hang on, man. Just hang on. Ride that wave up. But I'm just here in my heart of hearts to tell you that it's coming down.
I'm going to there's a Bitcoin investor conference in New York in the beginning of February. So hopefully I'll be able to go there and hear like all the good projects and pitches. And I don't know if it's a maxi conference, meaning it would just be Bitcoin, or if they're actually going to allow all.
Or is it an XRP conference? Probably.
It's not an XRP conference. Would you ever see me at an XRP conference? I would have given
I will. In my lifetime, I will live to see that. I am. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, so I'm hoping to come back with some good information of different ways to take advantage of, this wonderful ecosystem that we all have access to while we can, and we have access to it. Because my biggest thing this year is, even though we're a big proponent for Bitcoin, still educating people how they can use this and how they can make money with this, and the way that, by the way, did we talk about this, that you can now use crypto as a down payment for your house?
I have not. Go ahead. Tell us more.
No, that's what you can now use crypto as a down payment for your house. So this is what I'm saying. So the more these things are starting to grow, buying a little bit right now and having that little cachet, not financial advice, I'm purely entertaining. But you have this little cachet whenever you need it down the road, or if you want it, it's there. So, again, write whatever questions you guys have or any issues or things you want to know, because we want to educate you the best that we can and bring you all the news and bring you all the current projects and the ways that you guys can make the most of this economy.
Yeah, I do think there's an upside potential. Liquidity matters. And so when they start printing more money, the cycles for Bitcoin have typically moved in tandem with that. So my sense is there's going to be some dust settling. And if the government isn't open and we're kicking the can of the Coinbase is saying, hey, we don't want this. So now the Senate and the Agricultural Committee and the finance committees are all going to have to go back. And it's interesting how it comes together and all that stuff. But when Coinbase is on air saying this is not a good thing for the consumer, wow. I mean, whoever thought?
Yeah, thank God. Finally, one of the big guys is looking out for us. Now, it's not like they don't have a self-protected interest in this as well. But if you want to say it's for us and we benefit, I'm fine with that. Thank God somebody's looking out for us for once.
Well, he's looking out for himself. I mean, let's be for real. They made 3 or 4% on every transaction coming and going. So this is why also be aware of the motives of the player in the game, is that he wants the exchanges to exchange as much as possible. Volatility wins for Coinbase.
Yep, every time.
And that's something to keep in the back pocket. And it wins for Binance, and it wins and literally they're unregulated. I don't know if you saw, but since our last episode, Coinbase has started doing futures trading. Have you seen that?
I have not, but
so you can start doing levered options with Coinbase. And why? Because there are no rules. And the thing is, it's the irony. Here's the paradox. Here's the conundrum. Tell me what's going to happen, Deanna. If they don't pass legislation, probably by, let's call it March, the midterms come in, we get another election. We could not, I mean, have you heard what Hoskinson said, the guy from Cardano? He said, if we do not pass something now, it's going to be until 2029.
Well, let's pretty good. Let's hope that that's not the case. I think that there'll be enough pressure. I think that there's enough. I think it'll get through. I think they'll find a compromise and they'll find a way to get through. It's going to be a tough one though, because essentially you're trying to tell the banks to calm down and think of the little guy, and they're just not willing to do that sometimes. So I think they stick to it. I think it happens. I think it gets through. I think we have too much to lose for it not to.
It's not going to happen.
Ooh.
I'm just calling it. Not going to happen.
We say by March, end of March.
It's not going to happen. You're basically, two things we're up against. The biggest player in the game is saying they don't like it. Okay. It's a pretty big deal over here. Over there, you got the banks. That's a pretty big deal. They're like, we don't like this. We don't like where this is headed. It's going to ruin our business model. We need to protect what we have. Guess what's at the banks? Do you know why Jesse James went to the banks and robbed them? It's where the money's at. So the decision is going to be where the money's at. And Coinbase has contributed a lot, but do you think they're contributing more than the banking industry? No. And then in the backdrop, I'm just telling you, you've got the January 30th shutdown looming large. Any momentum that might be found is going to capitulate. It's going to capitulate and it's going to be over. And the window, I hate to say it.
You're such doom and gloom right now. We wanted like a happy year, Jim. Happy year.
I'm a realist.
I see that.
And then the fun begins, though. You ready when the fun will begin?
All right. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
Oh, I hate to say it, but when the money printers come, then Bitcoin runs, and it's inevitable, and the world is ready, and the stage is set. And Jerome, I mean, I'll be buying when it goes down. I'm telling you. And when Jerome says bye-bye and a new Fed person comes in, whoever it may be, they're going to be certainly less restrictive and more accommodative, dovish, as they say.
Sure.
And when the world gets in the cycle, when the politicians get in the cycle of printing more money, then the liquidity flows out into the further risk extremes, and crypto goes to the moon.
Yeah, well...
are we on a 4-year or 5-year cycle? The cycles are over.
We broke the cycle. We broke it. For the first time ever, we broke it.
Yeah, because things are becoming institutionalized. Literally.
Well, I'll say this too, though, and agreed. For all my conspiracy theorists out there who also think that this is the end times, and you are worried about different things like digital money, if all of a sudden the U.S. coin becomes a digital currency and then they can seize your money up just like we saw in past events, then consider the fact that Bitcoin, if you have it in cold storage, if you do not have it connected to the internet, nobody can take it from you. Now, don't lose it and don't drop it, but you have another cache that's to your advantage. I mean, this is when they say diversify, right? So property, cash, gold, stocks, Bitcoin,
silver.
The more things, the more, so XRP.
Silver.
So whatever no, that wasn't me saying that.
Copper.
Whatever little bit you can do, the better it's going to be. And especially if you really believe that things are going to get as crazy as you think they're gonna, it'd be crazy for you to not be doing this right now.
No, and I still have money in. Don't just not a.
Of course.
Yeah.
You don't sell it.
No. You just acquire it at the right times. And that's what I'm working to do. Set my limit long orders, be ready for it to go further lower than you might think it would go. And then just don't try to catch a falling knife. Just whatever number you are able to acquire that at and you're happy about it, that's a great number to get to. I've got a question for you, though. We've only got a limited amount of time. Tell us, Deanna, though, there's this kind of growing sense that having your private keys, your wallet, your cold wallet isn't as valuable as it once was. Where are you on that? Because it's looking like the on-ramps and off-ramps are going to be through the exchanges. So why would I take the risk of having a cold wallet? I'm okay either way, but I want to hear where you are because this thing is evolving.
I mean, so you're also only talking about even if you have to go through exchanges, you're referencing specific like exchanges that would do KYC. There are shady exchanges out there to where So there's just so many options that you could do.
Do I need a cold wallet anymore?
I would think yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Anytime it's connected to the internet, it's vulnerable, period. And anyway, if it's connected to the internet, it's vulnerable. If you don't have your private keys, your seed phrase, your 12 words, your money is vulnerable. Oh, speaking of which, and I'm so glad you brought this up because I think this is huge. I will do a little more research, but I just happened to see an article that California passed legislation that if you leave your crypto, your Bitcoin untouched for 3 years, they can seize it as unclaimed property.
Well, I have no words. That's probably the end of this episode and the end of Bitcoin as we knew it, as we know it. So we'll leave it there, Deanna. Thanks again. Another great episode of All Time High. We'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.
You on my mind a lot. Don't need no time watch. I don't know how I got